So one of the video that I arguably want to make the most is trading card game. Why? I love trading card game. It's one of my main games to play ever since I was a child. I remember when I was younger, I played Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot, even though we didn't really know the rules, so we kind of played through the rule styles, or as the YouTubers like to say it, Kaiba style. And yeah, though nowadays Yu-Gi-Oh! Went from a really great game when I was young to the floppy mess that it is. That's basically just putting money down the drain hole. And that's not fun for me, so I play other games these days, like Magic the Gathering, Vanguard, Recross, and well, there's many others, but I just need the samples for these. So yeah, if you're new to trading card games and you don't really know the complicated combos and all, piece of advice for you so you can start learning the game and enjoy the game is buy a trial deck, a pre-constructed deck. Don't buy the expensive pre-constructed deck. Don't buy the special sets and all that. Just buy a trial deck. Learn how to play it. This is the most easy, budget, simplest way you can learn to play a card game. And after you decide, okay, I enjoy this game, but instead of just playing it and losing, I want to play it and win sometimes. That's when you can finally spend some money and upgrade your deck, or spend some money and make an entirely new deck that you probably already faced and know how to play to a certain limit. And then there's boosters. Now, booster, as I mentioned in another video about gacha, it's basically gacha in real life, or gacha in trading card game. And some boosters can get pretty expensive. In fact, some of them can get so expensive, I question why buy the boosters when I can just buy the singles? And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about. We're going to talk about how to enjoy trading card games. Now, for the most part, there are two ways you can play a trading card game. One, the casual way, or the way I like to say it, the fun way, or two, the competitive way. And from my experience playing trading card games, be it Vanguard, Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh! And all that, the one I enjoy the most is playing the casual way. Now, by no means does playing the casual way mean you don't spend money on the game at all. By the time you're playing a trading card game, most likely you're already spending money buying the deck, or your friend kind of spent the money and you just borrowed your friend's deck. But I digress. Either way, money is still spent in one form or another. And well, even after that initial investment, it's not going to stop there. New sets are going to come out sooner or later, and while I did mention how Yu-Gi-Oh! Is basically like putting money on a drain hole because the meta updates every single month and you just have to have those cards, or you can go home because you ain't gonna win and it's not gonna be fun when you constantly lose to one-turn combos or two-turn combos. It's not the same for most other games. Yes, there are metas. Yes, some cards will be expensive. Yes, some cards will be staples, but they are only that way in their particular group of cards. In Vanguard, it's clan. In Magic, it might be race, it might be tribal, it might be whatever you want to call it. In Recross, it's not really clan, it's more of a lyric type and spell types, creature types. But I digress. Those metas are only gonna be in their particular playgroup sets. And that's why I kind of left Yu-Gi-Oh! Behind. So let's talk about cards. Boosters are fun. It's expensive, but it's kind of exciting to get something and not knowing what you're actually getting. That's why people get gambling addiction. It's actually a psychology kind of thing. But if you just want to play the game and you want to get your money's worth, sometimes, no, most of the times, it's actually better to buy your cards in singles. Why? Let's say the single card costs 100 bucks. Now, this is just a random example. Most cards don't cost that much. I'm just dashing out numbers here. And And let's say the booster box costs, let's say 25. And let's say the card you want, that 100 bucks card, and it most likely is gonna be the top rarity, but let's say it's not the special version, it's just the top rarity, like triple R or UR. Now, every box nowadays, they will guarantee you a certain number of URs. The problem is that in one set, it's not the only UR. There are several types of URs. Now, in weak process term, it's LR or Lyric Rare. In Magic the Gathering, it's called Mythic Rare. In Vanguard, it's triple R before and it went to VR now. Now, every box of booster you buy is going to guarantee you a certain number of a set of rarities. But the problem is, it's not the only card in that rarity of that particular set. So even if they guarantee you the pity, they're not guaranteeing you the card you want. Now, it's fine if you buy the 25 booster box. You get the card you want, plus a bunch of other cards that you're probably going to use for your deck either way. That's totally fine. But what if you spend $100, meaning you're buying 4 boxes and you're not getting that card you need? Whereas if you spend that same $100, yeah, you only get 1 card. You don't get all the extra cards. But you get the card you need. Now, I digress. I did mention earlier how even though you're not going to get the card you get, you're probably going to still get some cards that you're going to use either way. Those are the commons and the rares and probably the double rares or the normal rares. But you can always buy 1 box and spend the rest of the money buying singles because that's how things are. Right? So, why buy boosters? Well, for one thing, if no one buys the boosters, no one's going to be able to sell the singles, in which case you won't be able to buy it at all. And if you do get the card you need, but you have access, you can always sell those off, and sometimes you can make a profit. So it's a form, I guess, of investment. But not really, it's just secondary market. But the really exciting part is when you get the special versions of the cards you want. Now, earlier I gave an example of a card that might cost $100. But if you get the special version of that card, like in Vanguard, it's straight up called special. In Magic the Gathering, it's basically foil, full art, extended art, whatever other gimmicks you can put on a card, or all of them combined sometimes. Or in weak process term, it's also special rare or secret rare. In those cases, you're spending the example of $25 earlier, but the card you're getting on the secondary market, it might be worth $300, $400, heck, sometimes $500. Heck, some cards can even go as high as $1,000, $1,500, and I'm not kidding. Some people actually buy those cards. Why? Well, some of them because it's ego problems. Some of them because they want to collect the cards, and some of them they kind of need the card, and they want to bling out their decks. So yeah. Boosters, not a bad option, but if you're just in it for the game and you want to get your bucks worth for your deck, most of the time you want to buy singles. They usually end up cheaper than if you're going to try and get everything from random boosters, because it's gacha. And if you play gacha games and you're whaling, you probably know how much money you can spend if you want a particular character, and it's even worse when you need a playset of them in your deck, which is usually 4 cards for the most part. Now, of course, good cards don't only come in boosters. Sometimes they come out with these premium products where you spend a good amount of money, but you get a list of cards that's basically decided beforehand, and you know you're gonna get them. So in these cases, you're not playing the gacha game. It's like just buying your gems on your games. You spend this amount of money, you get this number of gems. You get this amount of money, and you get these cards. In these cases, you can do this in 3 ways. 1, do it for your collection. 2, buy it as a form of investment and pray to God, hope you can sell it off someday in the future for a higher price. Or 3, you can look at the cards and see, okay, I might be getting these cards. And because they're printed in a set, they're probably going to drop down in price. But if I were to buy these cards individually compared to if I buy the set, now keep in mind this is strictly if you're gonna use the card, not if you want to collect it. Is it worth it? Well, most of the time the answer is yes, it's worth it. Why? Because the secondary market decides the price based on card utility, but that doesn't matter for the printers, for the manufacturers, because they make these cards. They can slap whatever price they want on these cards, on these sets, and you can get them for, well, that price, unless you're buying from the secondary market. So that's how you start building your deck. That's how you get the cards to build your deck. Then how to enjoy the game in itself? Well, as I mentioned earlier, you can do it in two ways, the competitive way and the casual way. Now, there are pros and cons. You're gonna get your most intense matches in the competitive format. But if you don't want to sink a lot of money to update your deck every single time a support wave comes, unless the support wave is retarded, which in some cases has happened, you don't want to go there, because if you're playing competitive, chances are you want to win, you don't want to lose, and once you start losing, the game starts not feeling fun. And at that point, yeah, it's basically a burden more than a luxury, more than entertainment. But what about casual? Is it fun? Hell yeah, it's fun. If it's not fun, why would I want to play it? This is an entertainment. If it's not fun, no one will do it, and the fact that someone is doing it means it's fun, in its own ways. Now, the way you enjoy it is different. For the casual format, the way you enjoy it is to actually just play the game and have a good time with it. You just roll it. Most of the people that plays the casual format basically just enjoys playing the game. They don't seek the sense of euphoria from winning. They don't seek the prize money from competitions. They just want to play. And this mindset, it actually helps a lot with having fun. Because when someone loses, no hard feeling. When someone wins, winning is fun. See? No problem. Everybody wins. Now, me, myself, I enjoy playing both. Because I like having fun, I like the game, and I like winning. I mean, hey, winning is fun. If you can have the option of winning or losing, I think most of the time you'll choose winning. I know I always choose winning if I get a choice. So, yeah, that's how you enjoy the casual format. But wait, that's not the only way you enjoy these things. There's actually another way you enjoy these things. You get new players to come and enjoy the game. You share your hobby with others. That's basically the easiest way you can enjoy your hobby, by sharing it with others. Now, me, myself, I introduce my brother to card games, I introduce my friends to card games, I encourage them to play card games, and I have fun doing it, because I'm basically talking about something I really enjoy. And if you're an otaku that likes to preach the gospel and spread the culture, then I think you know what I mean. So, yeah. For those of you who play card games but are frustrated because you keep losing, maybe this helps. For those of you who's looking forward to playing or trying trading card games, I say give it a go. Just remember, don't bling out your deck at first. You don't know if the playstyle suits you. You don't even know the meta and stuff. Just buy yourself a pre-constructed deck. But there are multiple types of pre-constructed decks. There are the cheap ones, which are the basic trial decks. And there are the more expensive one, which is normally more competitive or is more played out. My suggestion, if you're new, either just get one of the special format one or get two of the normal ones. Why? Because most of the time you don't get the required amount of good cards in one, but you might settle with two, even though they're all not played out. Or some of them might be partially played out, some of them not. Okay, what about the special ones? Well, they're special sets, they're limited. They're decidedly kinda good in its own ways, one way or another. You can trade them in the future, you can sell them in the future, albeit for a lower price, or maybe higher depending on the supply-demand chain. But yeah. How about the game itself? Just enjoy the game. That's it. If you don't like one game, doesn't mean you don't like trading cards in general. There's many types of trading cards. For example, Vanguard is fun. it's casual. At least now it's casual. It's actually kind of boring. They took all the complicated stuff out, rebooted the series, and gave us some really simple stuff. Heck, that might be why I'm using the old series boosted trial deck, because I have an attachment to complicated combos. But even though it's fun, there's another type of fun with simpler games like Weiss Wars. And Weiss Wars in particular is interesting because the cards are basically taken from the anime and the games, basically any show that's sponsored by Busho in one way or another. And while I'm playing the card, I'm enjoying the card game. But when I'm looking at the card and I'm not playing the card, I'm also just reminiscing about the anime I watched or the game I watched or the novel I read. Because, yeah, that's just another way I can enjoy my cards. There's many ways to enjoy trading card games. It says trading card. You can enjoy the trade, you can enjoy the game, and heck, you can enjoy the card itself. So, to anyone that's new to trading card game, or is going to try trading card game, or is feeling frustrated with trading card games after you give it a try, I hope this video was helpful. Thank you.